Let's be very clear. If you think the Clarity Act is failing because politicians can't agree, you are being played. And you are at serious risk of being shaken out of your position right before what could be the biggest wealth transfer in modern history. What you're watching unfold on the news, it's not a real fight. The evidence we're about to go through suggests this is a deliberate stalling tactic by the world's biggest banks. See, they aren't fighting the crypto industry. They are buying themselves precious time to build out their own infrastructure and, more importantly, to accumulate assets like XRP at rock-bottom prices before the floodgates officially open for good. And here's the twist that really gives the game away. While Congress pretends to be deadlocked, financial giants like Morgan Stanley, who control a staggering $9.3 trillion, are making absolutely massive moves to corner the crypto market. By the end of this, you are going to understand their exact playbook and why holding your position has never been more critical. Okay. First, let's just break down this massive contradiction that's happening right in front of our eyes. It's this total disconnect between the public story of chaos and the private actions of Wall Street. Now, that quote from a Bitwise exec, that isn't just talk. We are talking about institutions that normally move at the speed of a glacier, suddenly sprinting, going from 0 to 500 to build out their crypto systems. This isn't just them dipping a toe on the water, This is a full-on cannonball, and it's happening at a speed that tells you there is immense urgency behind the scenes. And look, we are not just talking about one or two rogue banks here. The data shows that 2/3, the overwhelming majority, of all financial institutions are expected to be deep into crypto within the next 6 months. This isn't a coincidence. This looks like a systemic, coordinated move by Wall Street. So this brings up a huge question. We see the data, we're hearing from the insiders. Who is next? I want you to jump over to the community post for this explainer and drop your prediction. I really want to see which bank you all think is about to show their hand. All right, so let's move from the broad trends to a specific, verifiable move by one of Wall Street's biggest sharks. This is the hard proof of the game being played behind that DC curtain. So get this, Morgan Stanley, with its $9.3 trillion in assets, just filed for a national trust bank charter. This is not just an investment. This charter allows them to become a legal, regulated custodian for crypto assets, to hold them for their 18 million clients. They are building the fundamental plumbing to control the flow of crypto for the next generation. Now let's contrast that incredible behind-the-scenes speed with the so-called gridlock happening in Washington. And this is where the story, it gets really telling. I mean, just look at this timeline. The crypto industry has bent over backwards, making huge concessions on things like stablecoin yields just to get a deal done. But the banking lobby, they are flat out refusing to compromise, creating the exact delay that puts the whole bill in jeopardy. So you have to ask yourself, is this a group that's afraid of crypto, or is it a group that's just buying time? And right here, this is the smoking gun, coming directly from the banks themselves. The data doesn't lie. A JPMorgan report literally states that the Clarity Act is the exact catalyst needed for a massive upside move by the second half of 2026. They've identified the trigger, they've identified the timeline, and now it looks like their lobbyists are making sure that trigger doesn't get pulled until they are fully locked and loaded. Look, this is the kind of information they do not want you to connect. If you are watching Crypto Global News without a subscription, you are missing these critical alerts that show you the real game plan. Click subscribe right now to stay on the correct timeline and avoid being shaken out by the mainstream lies. Thankfully, some key voices inside the crypto industry are no longer staying quiet. They're calling this behavior out directly, and we really need to listen to what they're saying. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is basically calling their bluff. He's making it crystal clear that the crypto industry is not the one holding up progress. This statement is a direct shot at the banking lobby story, placing the blame for the delay exactly where it belongs. So, let's connect all the pieces here. You've got the institutional rush, the specific Wall Street moves, the regulatory charade, and the insider callouts. It all points to one pretty undeniable conclusion. This is the whole thing right here. The public story is this convenient fiction about politics being messy. The insider reality, though, looks like a carefully orchestrated delay, a strategic pause, designed to give Wall Street just enough time to get into position before the market reprices everything, seemingly overnight. The playbook seems almost insultingly simple and effective. Step 1, stall the regulation. Step 2, use that time you just bought to quietly build out your infrastructure. And step 3, accumulate the most important assets while their price is being artificially held down. We saw this exact pattern with the SEC lawsuit against XRP, and now it seems like they're just running the same play on a much bigger national scale. Things are moving incredibly fast, and you need information in real time, not a day later. Join my Telegram channel to get these updates the second they happen. Scan the QR code you see on the screen right now or use the link down in the description. Be the first to know what's going on. So, the single most important takeaway here is this. Based on all the evidence, it really appears the fix is in. The game looks rigged in their favor, but only if you don't see what they're doing. What you're witnessing is theater, and it's designed to shake you out. The most important action you can take right now is to understand the real game and hold your position. We've established the theory that they've stalled the bill to accumulate, but that leaves one last burning question. What exactly are they buying? For all of my viewers in the US, what they're accumulating has profound implications for your 401k and your retirement. We expose their entire shopping list in the very next explainer, which I've linked right here on the screen for you. Click it now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.